A big warm welcome to today's launch of IndX 2021. My name is Lena Miranda and I'm the CEO of Linköping Science Park, and I'm standing here today together with our product manager, Mrs. Inger Stern, and we will take you through this program. IndX 2021 is a continuous open innovation process that took its start in 2019 when the four founding companies, Siemens Energy, Toyota Material Handling, Saab, and Väderstad, came together to benchmark technology roadmaps and innovation strategies. This turned out to be an open innovation process that we threw for the first time in 2020, where we had 10 companies joining us to collaborate on new ideas. Now we are very happy to take this into the next step in 2021 and expand our reach to attract more international startups and innovative companies in the forefront of technology. We are focusing on connectivity, automation, and sustainability. And we are looking for you who want to contribute to making the smart industry sector of East Sweden a more competitive one. We welcome you to tap into our regional innovation ecosystem in the region of East Sweden. And when you come here, whether it will be digital or physical or both, we will make sure that you get the right support to tap into our networks. So, Inger, what will happen next?
Thank you, Lena. Hello, I'm Inger Stern and I'm the Happy IndX Project Manager. We will soon join you in the Zoom area, but first, let me explain to you where we are now. Around the corner is a Linköping startup that were born and raised during and probably due to the pandemic. They offers VR conferences, workshops, and whatever you can need. A very good example in East Sweden how knowledge quickly becomes business in the hands of hard-working entrepreneurs. Thank you for inviting IndX 2021. As Lena said, we see a huge potential in growing the innovation ecosystems around smart industry. Continuous discussions with both startups that were selected for IndX 2020, but also the one who were not or haven't yet applied, is our aim for today's launch. We are of course very excited to meet new startups during this fall. We will open the application period later on today, but we have to wait for a while. And with those words, we are very committed to strengthen the deep tech region of East Sweden. So now it's time for us to introduce our funding partners of IndX. So please help me to welcome Torbjörn from Saab, Thomas from Siemens Energy, Hans from Toyota Material Handling, and Johan from Väderstad.
We are excited about IndX 2021. A mix of small and big companies in our local area creates a stable market for both talents and solutions. IndX is the catalyst where we all come together to solve concrete and current challenges. Our challenge is the rapid technological development within autonomous and connected systems. We need to establish fruitful collaborations to constantly stay relevant and to deliver state-of-the-art products.
Kicking off IndX 2020, we said it was a success if every company would launch at least one POC each. And if we would find one or two joint projects, that would be a great bonus. Summarizing last year's process, we note that 3 out of 5 projects are joint ones. That is a great outcome. We want to collaborate more and develop our solutions into a better Siemens Energy product. It also creates great commitment among our employees to meet startups that work with new technologies for the future.
We are very happy with the outcome of IndX 2020. We see this as a first step to form a long-term platform for an open innovation in East Sweden. IndX is a unique and attractive platform for collaboration in smart industry, which can benefit not only us, but Sweden and the world in general. Väderstad is a very innovative company, but we want to expand even more. 4 industrial companies face similar challenges, even though the products are completely different. We believe that we together can attract and find new ideas in a way none of us can do individually. The future looks bright.
By collaborating regionally, we can create an arena where we can work together, experiment and test, and we can become stronger together. East Sweden today represents a region with accurate and good competence for a much more fast-moving and complex future with digitalization and innovation.
It's my great pleasure to welcome the Governor of East Sweden, or Östergötland as we say in Swedish, who has been a great supporter of the IndX Open Innovation Platform ever since we started. And he's also a great supporter to our regional industries of East Sweden. Welcome, Mr. Carl Fredrik Graf.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Carl Fredrik Graf and I'm the County Governor of Östergötland. Östergötland is an industrial county and 4 of the county's most prominent industrial companies participate in the IndX project: Siemens Energy, Saab, Toyota Material Handling Europe and Väderstad. Östergötland also has strong roots in data and IT, something that promotes our county when businesses and not least industry is digitized at an ever increased pace. At Linköping University, there is a world-leading research in image analysis and visualization, sensor technology and artificial intelligence, material technology and print electronics. The university holds a breadth of education and research and has about 32,000 students and about 4,000 researchers. Östergötland is also a very international county, and a large part of our business community operates in an international market. We have a large proportion of foreign R&D activities represented in the region, and we have many exporting companies. Östergötland is also a hub for international talent, and at the Linköping University alone, more than 2,000 international talents research and study. Within Linköping Science Park, and in close collaboration with Linköping University and the Business Incubator Lab, new companies are growing, and our development environments in the county, where Linköping Science Park is also an important partner, can offer meeting places, networks and support to companies in growth and renewal. In our region, we welcome more innovative SMEs, Swedish and international, to grow our ecosystem to innovative companies linked to smart industry. Come here and collaborate with us, broaden your networks, and if you want to establish yourself in the long run, we will be more than happy to help with that. And today I'm very glad to inaugurate IndX 2021, and I'm looking forward to following this exciting process and see what new collaborations will merge along the way. Startups and large companies in between, but maybe also between startups. Be sure to sign in and join the journey. It will surely be educational and rewarding. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare IndX 2021 inaugurated.
Very welcome. Now even we are back in Zoom. I'm Inger outside my avatar, And thank you again around the corner for inviting us to your VR environment. I would like you to meet with all the others in this real Zoom world. So please, Lena, put on your video and say hello to us.
Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to East Sweden and Östergötland.
Thomas, are you with us in Finspång? Do you hear us, Thomas?
Yes, I'm not in Finspång, Siemens Energy.
And Johan, please say hello and wave to us.
Yes, hello everyone. Nice to meet you all.
Very nice. And do we have Hans?
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning. And I hope as well we have Torbjörn at Saab.
Yes, hello everyone. Sorry, Lena, I can't start the video. It says I'm not allowed.
Okay, but we hear you, so you're here. You will meet with them again. As you already understand, this is a big day for us to launch IndX 2021. So during those hours, we will visit our partner companies. We will talk to some of the startups from 2020, and there will be time for questions before we close at 12 o'clock. But please use the chat function if you want to comment or ask questions. We will answer according to time. And if we don't have the time to answer all the questions, we will come back to you afterwards, of course. As Lena mentioned, our focus areas for 2021 are the same, but in some way they have different meaning regarding to what partner company you talk to. We will explain this while visiting the partner company soon. And on our website later on today, we have explained what we would like to see in IndX 2021. So our network in East Sweden, Östergötland, this is our network. Väderstad, we have Väderstad AB in Väderstad, we have Toyota in Mjölby, Siemens Energy in Finspång, and Saab together with us in Linköping Science Park in Linköping. And our common networks in Sweden are quite strong. Linköping Science Park are part of a network of innovation hubs around Sweden, incubators, science parks, and cluster organization, who in their turn have regional innovation ecosystems that we can connect to. The partner companies have their international networks that are a very important possibility within IndX. So it's now time for us to make a journey in our beautiful region. So Thomas, we will start in Finspång. And first, we would really like to understand why Finspång is an historical important place talking about first generation of industry. Is that something you could explain to us, Thomas? Did you hear my question?
No, overall, I mean.
Now we hear you.
It's a bit lagging.
But I think we
let's shift network. Let's see.
Okay.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
I had the backup on my phone.
Did you hear my question?
Yes, I did. Sorry for that. I mean, Finspång is a beautiful place with all the beautiful nature and lakes, so that's worth a visit. But also talking about history and industry, Finspång is proven, diverse and entrepreneurial area in the east of Sweden. We had Louis Dier starting off the entrepreneurial efforts in the region with building and bringing balance to the region, and they started manufacturing cannons in the 17th century. So that is where the industrial cradle or the industrial start of Finspång shows up in the history books. So I would say that is something we have built on, and Siemens Energy started our businesses with turbines and energy solutions in 1913.
Great. Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome.
So let's go to Finspång and Siemens Energy. Follow us.
Siemens Energy is a global company with 90,000 employees worldwide. We work with new energy solutions. In Sweden, we are located in Finspång and the partners in IndX. We work with gas turbines and heat pumps. In the location Finspång in Sweden, we have all the functions, all from our own manufacturing, research and technology development, as procurement and service of our products.
Innovation is in the force of all employees, and in Siemens Energy, all of us are empowered to support with innovation in different ways. To be able to do that, we have different tools and processes that will help us find ideas and develop them so they can, in the end, become a reality for us. And beyond these tools and processes, we have a network of internal innovation coaches and an innovation management board with representatives from all functions in the company. Innovation is one of our cornerstones. We know that we as a company need to find new ideas that could potentially develop into new businesses or other opportunities for developing the company. But we also know that we can't do everything alone and that we depend on good collaboration with external partners to succeed with more transformational ideas. So therefore, we see IndX as a great opportunity to find these important collaboration partners where we together would create opportunities and work on building a more sustainable world and energized society.
Coming from the success last year in IndX 2020, we now take the next step to reach out even more globally. We would like to see more companies, more startups in a global arena.
Open innovation has become a widely accepted approach, and we have seen many different examples in which great ideas has developed by partnerships. Collaboration between technology startups and large corporations is key for fostering innovation, where both sides benefit from the collaboration.
In IndX 2021, the three focus areas are sustainability, autonomy and connectivity. For us, sustainability, it's really about changing our products to be more green, meeting the targets of being fossil-free, but also autonomy and connectivity is really important for us. We look into be more efficient in our processes internally, but also to offer new services to our customer through the autonomy and connectivity in the area of digitalization.
Today we already collect a lot of data, so autonomy and connectivity also means analyzing this data and making valuable conclusions. So we hope IndX will bring us new collaboration partners to develop these areas.
Why should you as a startup come joining IndX 2021 and work with us then? I think we are pushing the boundaries and we work hard with innovation ourselves in Siemens Energy. But we also believe strongly in partnering. That we prove by partnering with the other industries in IndX 2021, but also looking for you as startups. I think we could be strong together. We can build business together, but we can also build the technology you represent together. So open innovation, working together, that's the key.
We look forward in working with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Thomas and Minetta. A question, is there something you would like to add to this presentation, as it's a couple of days since you made it?
No, not really. I mean, excited to be here, excited to see what the startups which will apply, and hopefully we can get to more details and questions, and of course detail out what we're looking for. But excited to be here this year as well, so looking forward.
Thank you very much. So we continue the journey in Östergötland, and it's time to go to Linköping. And I'd like to do that together with Torbjörn from Saab.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Thomas. Torbjörn. Thomas and Torbjörn. Torbjörn, can you please tell us something about Linköping? For example, people in Linköping are talking more about cubic meters, while other cities are focused on square meters. Why is that?
Well, in Linköping, there is a lot of activity, not only on the ground, but also in the air. We are the aerospace capital of Sweden, with 2 runways, military operations, pilot training, a civil airport, as well as several aerospace OEMs and suppliers within this area.
So that's the reason.
That's the reason.
Thank you. Thank you. So please follow us to Linköping and Saab.
Saab was founded in 1937 to deliver military aircraft to Sweden. Today we are an international business with products ranging from military domain to civil security. Here in Linköping we have 2 business areas, Saab Aeronautics and Saab Dynamics.
The challenge today is the very fast technology development. You can imagine if we have such a diverse product portfolio with many different products, all kinds of technology is interesting.
Our customers expect Saab to deliver state-of-the-art solutions and constantly keep them up to date and relevant. Our challenge is to develop future collaborations to access technological advancements. At the same time, we need to do this sustainably and using resources in a responsible way. Throughout our history, Saab has been exploring new technologies and new opportunities for our products. Saab works together with governments, other industries and universities to develop the best solutions for our products. We have a systematic approach to innovation where we work with our culture and our facilities internally. We also work externally to establish fruitful collaborations with other companies and with smaller startups.
We hope to meet with upcoming companies that have technologies or smart solutions that we haven't seen. Every now and then we get surprised by what small companies can come up with. We're open to that. We'd like to see what other companies have that could fit with our products in the future.
We are looking for startups and scale-ups within autonomy and connected systems that are ready to take on the challenge to work with Saab and our products. Saab's vision is to keep people and society safe. And that also means that our products need to be sustainable through the entire value chain, from development and production to upgrade, service and disposal.
We would like to develop a higher degree of autonomous functions in our products, because we already have autonomous product in our portfolio. For example, underwater products, both civil and military. They have a high degree of autonomy already, but they are single autonomy vehicles. And we'd like to develop collaborating vehicles, and that's a challenge for the future. Autonomous vehicles, they need to communicate. So whether they are underwater or in the air, connectivity will be essential for the future.
The human role in this loop will change to higher level commands and decision making, while algorithms and machines will do the detailed control and the high-speed data processing. As a startup, you get a good opportunity to develop your business and your solutions and to get feedback from a large company with a wide area of applications and products.
Startups should come and work with us because it would be a business opportunity to them. You can see a demanding customer as a difficult customer if you want to, or an opportunity to develop.
Thank you. Thank you, Göran. Thank you, Torbjörn. And the same question to you, Torbjörn. Is there something you would like to add to this very good presentation?
No, not really. I'm very much looking forward to this year's process and what it can bring. So I'm excited to kick this off today.
Great. We all do. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us to Saab. So let's go on to Linköping Science Park and Lena Miranda. We have now visited 2 of the 4 partner companies, and we will soon visit the other 2. But before, what would you say recognizes the business community and innovation system in East Sweden, apart from the big industries?
Well, that's a really good question, except for being very charming in the region of Sweden and talking östgötska, which we do on an everyday basis. As you have seen on these introduction videos, we have a lot of international corporates and world-leading industries in our region. And they work and operate close to the science parks in our region. And as you heard initially, we also have 2 science parks. So it's Linköping Science Park and our sister park, Norrköping Science Park, in our neighbor city. And we together hold a great number of deep tech startups and a growing number of scale-ups. We also have a great number of technical consultancy agencies that makes it easy to establish your business and have a great market introduction in the region while recruiting your long-term employees. So the East Sweden region holds a number of strength areas that work together with the Science Park and our business incubator LEAD, which is operated by Linköping University. And the university, of course, holds a great number of world-leading research areas such as data science, image analysis, visualization, sensor technology, printed electronics, and artificial intelligence. And when visiting Finspång and Siemens and Saab in Linköping and moving on to Mjölby and Toyota and Väderstad in Väderstad, you will of course get the feeling that we are a really strong deep tech region. So the surrounding ecosystem offers a number of innovation platforms and cluster organization and innovation hubs. And we have clusters within IoT, visualization, and AI and advanced materials, to mention a few of them. And we are also a very tight community of innovation support actors that work very close to one another in order to support all businesses in the best way we can. We are also connected, of course, to science parks around Sweden and work very closely with other initiatives such as Ignite Sweden. So that is a short presentation about the East Sweden region, our innovation ecosystem, and the business community. So over to you, Inger.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lena. Just a follow-up question on what you said. I know that you, as a CEO for Linköping Science Park, could speak for hours, but could you tell us what is the most difficult thing in your job?
The difficult things in my job, where we are exposed to so many interesting initiatives and projects, it's hard to choose and to not be part of every exciting initiative. Also, there is a great number of great projects around Sweden and so many great initiatives to, for instance, work towards a more green and sustainable country and world, of course. And we would like to be part in so many of these initiatives and try to collaborate as much as we can across Sweden and across Europe and the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think you already answered my next question, but you are always so full of energy and good ideas. And what is the most gratifying in your work?
The gratifying thing about this job is that there is so many enthusiastic and engaged individuals, entrepreneurs, passionate people that I meet every day. And me and my team at Linköping Science Park are very happy to be a small part of their journey and supporting them in any way we can. So that is the most rewarding part of this job, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I think it's time to continue our journey in Östergötland. And we will go to Väderstad. And I would like Johan to switch on your video and help me.
Hello. Yes, hello everyone.
So tell us, what do you do on your free time in Väderstad?
I would like to point out the very position of Väderstad, which is in the very south of the agricultural part of Östergötland, with many beautiful sites and very beautiful scenery. But just to the south of us, we have the big woodlands. That's very common in the south of Sweden. And we also have the national park Omberg, right close to here, right beside Lake Vättern. So very much beautiful scenery out when you want to spend your spare time in Väderstad.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Johan. So then we go and visit Väderstad AB in Väderstad. Please follow us.
Väderstad is a company that develops and produces agricultural machinery. We are in the area of soil tillage, planting and drilling. We are a company of 1,500 people here in Väderstad, an additional 200 in Canada. But we are a global supplier. We have machines running on all continents of the earth. This means that we challenge many different kind of customers that will want to use our machines in many different ways. We need to be ahead of competition when it comes to bringing the most innovative products to the market. And when we are truly innovative, we can bring a product forward that increases our customers' production, which means that we most likely do it in a more sustainable way with less efforts. We have the majority of product development here in Väderstad. We are still expanding our development efforts, trying to find new ways and new competencies in how to bring new products to the market faster and faster. We have an innovation process that works mainly, I would say, around areas and technology today where we are present and where we are strong. One of the reasons why we are a part of IndX is to expand the areas of where we don't have expertise today. We have certain areas where we know that we will like to focus our future development. Sustainability for Väderstad is being a part of the change where we need to find ways of producing more food on the same area of fields that we are producing on today. To do that in a sustainable way without damaging your soil, damaging your water, that is sustainability for us. Connectivity for us is important because we need to know where is our machine, what is it doing, How is it performing? Is the driver handling it the right way? To be able to make the machines autonomous tomorrow, connectivity is one of the basics. Since many years, a tractor can be steered automatically on GPS. It controls the equipment, but it controls it via the driver. Tomorrow, this needs to be done automatically and decided on by the machine itself, using clever sensor technology, using AI to understand what the performance of the machine is. On the market, we are considered to be one of the top innovative companies, always producing new products. We are achieving prizes and awards for our machinery, and it's out of the essence that we remain on that very edge of innovation.
Thank you, Johan.
Thank you.
Great environment that you spend your days, I suppose. Do you have something that you would like to add to this presentation?
Just that last year we found areas where we did not think that we would. One of them was actually targeting our processes, which I was not expecting. And hopefully I can get the same new appearances of new areas of improvement that we can find even this year.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks to all of you for inviting us to your companies, cities, giving us a view of your companies and also a view outside your companies. Thanks a lot. And again, I would say to all the audience that please use the chat function if there is questions to our partners, startups, or if you want to comment anything. We are happy to follow that. So we will now direct our focus to some of the startup. To Jota, thank you. I was looking in my time schedule and saw that we were a few minutes before. But we have, of course, a visit to do in Mjölby. Excuse me, Hans, please help me.
Oh, it's probably so small so you can miss it if you don't look carefully.
No. So our last stop on our journey will be in Mjölby. And it's so really good in Mjölby, that's why. So please, Hans, can you tell us what's the best with Mjölby?
I think the best thing about Mjölby has a long history of being a hub where farmers used to bring their wheat to grind it into flour. It turns through the railway area being a hub. And then in the industrial era, it's really taking a position to be a hub in the logistics system. And I think the best thing is that people can live in a city, which is a little bit more than 25,000 people, close to nature, being able to walk or use their bicycle to go to work and really be a part of changing the logistics world and producing equipment all over the world.
Great. Thank you. So we will take a look at the presentation of the company Toyota.
Toyota Material Handling is the global leader of material handling equipment and solutions. We have a global footprint, and in Europe our main offices are based out of Sweden, and we serve customers in virtually every sector as we help the world getting things and goods moving.
The innovation function in Toyota Material Handling is a fairly new function, and we work mainly with three components. The first one is that we monitor the future and look into future threats and opportunities that we need to act upon. The second part is that we realize that we need to build ecosystem to to maneuver in that complex environment, where startups is a very important part, but also universities and partnerships and so on. And the third part is that we are experimenting much more than we did before.
We see many exciting challenges ahead of us and our customers, and we can put them into three main categories. The first one is new technology and innovation with, for example, the deployment of autonomous vehicles or the scaling up of digitalization in intralogistics, both trends growing in importance during the past few months and only there to accelerate. The second one is sustainability, as we are on our journey to net zero emissions in our operations until 2030, and we want to help our customers and suppliers achieve the same. The last one is resilience. With the pandemic, it became very clear that we need to continue to secure delivery of goods that everybody needs, like, for example, food supply or vaccines, to name a couple.
Sustainability is the start point for every aspect of our products. So less energy consumption and efficient use of materials gives the best driver experience. So our contribution to society is a key point in our industry. The next natural step for our industry is to go autonomous. And I think also the tech is more ready now for the transformation and autonomous vehicles. By connecting everything, we can take the intelligence to the next level in the material handling industry. We have data-driven decision-making that supports maintenance. We have optimizing energy and also, of course, what's important, safety.
IndX 2020 was a real good experience for us. So our expectations for IndX 2021 is to bring that result a little bit further, to find even more interesting startups in the areas of automation, connectivity and sustainability. And we are also looking forward to see that IndX 2021 is becoming a bit more international and that we can meet more companies outside the East region area where we act today.
We have the ability to transform an idea to product offering or a reality. And also the big reason for startups to come work with us is because we have an excellent competence base within engineering, production, and maybe what's most important, purchase.
We really believe that working together and collaborating can bring agility and pace to our organization. And from my experience, I can only say that logistics is a very exciting world to be part of at the moment.
Thank you, Hans, and your colleagues. That was a really interesting presentation. So I'm happy that we find out that you are still here. So is there something that you would add to this presentation right now?
Oh, I think the video just emphasizes what a complex future we are meeting, and we will need all the help we can get to really embrace that, especially from the startup arena, and that's why we are here today.
Yes, yes. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will direct our focus to some of the startups who participated in IndX 2020. First, I would like to welcome Andreas Krona from Tokumatic and Linn Sidal from Econo. This is 2 of the 10 chosen startups out of more than 70 applicants. So that's really, really a great accomplishment. You didn't make it all the way to a funded POC, but first of all, please, Andreas, tell us about Tokumatic in an elevator pitch.
Sure, that wasn't around the prepared questions, but fortunately I know about it anyways. So we're working with the conversational AI, so dialogue between human and machine, and we're doing it on human terms. So if you compare it to what Google, Amazon, and similar big players, IBM, do, we have looked and done a lot of research on how human and machine, or how humans do to cooperate to reach a goal-based dialogue, and we have created our own solutions to be supporting that in the best possible way.
Very interesting. Thank you, Andreas. And of course, you managed this without being prepared. I know that. Same thing for you, Lynn. What is Econo doing?
Yeah, I hope I can manage it just as well as Andreas did, even though I did not prepare. Econo is a software company, and we do edge machine learning. So basically, we are experts in running smart algorithms on board connected devices.
Great, yeah. Thank you. So Lynn, can you describe to us what you have gained from being a part of the index process?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, we didn't make it all the way, and we didn't really reach to the funded POC, but I think that we gained a lot during last year, although we didn't make it all the way. And I think first, what I would really like to say is that we think that startup and enterprise collaborations is always a win-win. So there's always the chance for the startup to validate and test the technology with industry leaders, and we as the enterprises get the chance to get their hands on state-of-the-art technology. So I think that even though we didn't make it all the way, it was a win-win for both parties. And I think that what we gained was really that we got the chance to actually work with one of the corporate partners on an actual challenge and a problem that they were facing. So we got a lot of understanding on the different challenges and problems that they are facing right now. And that's a great starting point for continuing the discussion. So that, I mean, that was definitely what we gained most of last year.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. That sounds great, I think. But Andreas, if you think in terms of networking and new contacts, can you describe to us what Index meant to you?
Absolutely, I'll do my very best. And we know that getting in touch with customers and users is key to our development and getting our face towards the real world. And thanks to the process and being selected in this process, we did get a quality stamp that we were someone worth listening to and interact with. So obviously getting in touch with big corporates is of great value to us. And it can also be hard making cold calls, trying to find the right people. Through this process, with this quality stamp, we actually got a chance to sit down, just like Lynn said, sit down and talk to the companies and hear what they're, and I think that goes also to the actual process when we got a chance to talk about their actual ideas and the challenges and things they wanted to proceed with based on our pitch and what we could give with them. We also got feedback back from them. And on top of that, also, of course, new names in our contact books to stay in touch with, even though we haven't done a project together with them yet. We're hoping that the timing will be right at some time soon, that we can bring up the thread and they know how to call us. So, and we know how to reach out to them again. So it's just the start of a journey.
Sounds great. Very nice to hear from you about there is future collaboration going on. Is there something, Andreas, that you would add to what Lynn said about how this has contributed to your business development?
I think, on top of what Lynn already said, and which I already confirmed, I think being forced to do a pitch and create a new pitch material is always valuable. It's we're trying to work continuously with developing our business by user-centric approaches and hearing what users and customers want and need. So that pitching process is always, it puts a little pressure on you to actually go through that and do that. And that's also material we could have reused from that time. And I already talked about that myself. The process when we did interact with the teams was very valuable to see and hear ideas coming up from them in collaboration with us, and then working a little further with those ideas was very interesting and valuable. Some of them we have thought about before, other ideas were completely new to us. So that's very good.
Oh, we are very happy to hear that. And Lynn, if I ask you, will you apply again?
Yes, I mean, I think that I look forward to reading more about the different areas that you will post this afternoon, so we can deep dive into what you're actually facing as challenges for this year. I think it's, I mean, as Andrea said, it's so hard being a startup to do a cold call or try to reach out to any of these companies. And this initiative is really a way of us getting into the same room and the same discussions together with exactly the right people at the company. So of course, of course we will take the chance. There's no doubt, and we have a great experience from last year. So definitely,
we are looking forward for that, and you are so welcome to apply. Andreas, will you recommend other startups in your network to apply?
Absolutely. As you could hear by the things I said before, I think it's a great value for the time needed to put in. I mean, we didn't need to put a lot of effort in beforehand, so it's not a high risk, and the reward of getting the contacts, even though not getting among the final selected projects, is definitely worth it, and we'll keep working with that. So I would be more than happy to recommend others to apply. Of course, making sure they are fitting in with what anyone is looking for, but that's up to them to decide.
Yeah.
And I would add that the sustainability aspect, which have been brought up this year, that's also something that's very close to our hearts and which we talk about a lot, how we can support our customers and partners in their sustainability journeys. I'm very glad to see and hear that.
Great, thank you. You are both very good ambassadors for IndX. Is there anything more that the two of you want to recommend us for IndX 2021?
Do you want to start, Lynn?
Yeah. I mean, I would just like to add to what Andrea said, that I think that you added sustainability as a focus area is great, and I'm really happy to see that. And it's going to be very interesting to see what is in that focus area, and also what kind of ideas that will come up around it. So that will be really, really interesting. I think that the process was great last year. I think one of the winning factors was that it was centered around an actual challenge, which was great. It's always great to start with a problem. I mean, the only thing I could think of was really maybe to add some more time to the innovation work, maybe even give us a small data set or something, because as startups, we're always so eager to show what we can actually do. So maybe if we could have had some more time on actually working out maybe a small demo or something, I think that could be even more valuable. But then again, I think it was great that it was such a fast process, because that also forced us to work very fast and come up with solutions. So yeah, I think that's what I would add in that case.
Thank you, Lynn. And Andreas?
Yeah, one thing I came to think of when you started speaking there, Lynn, is in the process when we enjoyed talking to the corporates in the meaning of customers, but we are very much also talking about users and being user-centric. So if we even could have access to the customer's users for the things we're discussing, that would have made it even one step further. So that's one suggestion, because otherwise it is nothing wrong with all you people here, but it's more or less the people in the central of the corporate to guessing what the users want, while we really want the real users' feedback. So that's one addition to that process.
Okay.
Another thing that I really would like to recommend you, and that is to invite the alumni from 2020 now that it opens up and we can actually have some physical meetings. So that, because that's one of the things that I really missed from last year as well, to not meet you guys in person, because that also changed things in relationship building and getting closer to each other. So yeah, don't forget those invites when it's time to meet for real.
No, of course not. Of course not. We know that, Andreas, and we are doing something this afternoon, but everyone couldn't attend. But of course, we will remember to do that. Thank you, both Lynn and Andreas, for sharing with us your experiences and clever thoughts for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now it's time to have a sneak peek on what is going on in the proof of concept projects from INDEX 2020.
At Voices, we have this amazing technology that we believe is unique and it's the best in the world. The big problem we have is to find people within large organizations that can actually understand.
What we have learned during this process, or I would say that we have relearned it because you can't repeat it too many times, is that you need to step outside your small technical domain and look at real-world problems. Then you can find new exciting solutions that you didn't know existed before. And we have done that several times during this process.
För företag som vi, som är väldigt små, får en väldigt snabb väg in på större bolag.
We are proud to be chosen to work with Saab Aeronautics. The project highlights how Saab Aeronautics and Glitchy share common belief in the importance of realizing the value in innovation.
We really appreciate the opportunity that we were given through the INDEX project. It has been immensely valuable to get to work together with Saab, since it has allowed us to apply our expertise in AI based on real customer needs. Now, the customer, in this case Saab, they are really keen on our progress, and we receive qualitative and efficient feedback on our developments.
Redan under eventet så fick vi ha spännande diskussioner med människor från företagen, där vi tillsammans kunde komma på olika tillämpningar på våra lösningar och idéer. De här diskussionerna kunde vi sedan fortsätta under vår proof of concept. Så det vi lärde oss under det här eventet och under vårt projekt är att vi vet nu bättre vart de här företagen står i sin AI-resa. Och vi är övertygade om att vår produkt och våra lösningar har en tillämpning inom dessa bolag.
The Glitchy platform enables easy creation of interactive virtual reality training. The project has demonstrated that VR training can be used to both upskill existing employees and ensure that new employees are accurately assessed to be able to perform tasks to the standards required. We have learned how valuable the ability to collect training data and apply actionable insights automatically is.
It's so exciting to team up with Väderstad, who is a major player in farming equipment, and combining that with our sensor technology to get more information that we can present to the farmer. Using this information, you can do smarter choices when sowing, watering and fertilizing the crops.
At Voices, we have been working with some very knowledgeable people at Toyota Material Handling. So we have learned a lot about forklift trucks and material handling and how our system can be used for teleoperation.
Knowing that Saab is such a big and successful company on the market with high standards of quality, it really gives us confidence that we are focusing our efforts on the parts that create the most real-world value.
So thank you so much for that sneak peek. And we will now talk to the startups that are in or already have completed a proof of concept project. So I would like Axel, Vanja, Magnus, Jörgen and Erik to join me and Lena. Please start your videos.
Wonderful to see all of you, and so great to see also the fantastic pre-studies that have been going on during this spring. So let's hear some more about that, and let's start with you, Axel. You've been working together with Siemens and Väderstad, and could you tell us a little bit about the POC and your solution?
So what we did was automatic quality control of 2D drawings, where we basically make a system that automatically checks every new drawing that is made by engineers. And here we can use a lot of simple checks or advanced checks. And we had this discussion with them, and it's been really interesting.
Sounds really great. And we're looking forward to hear more from you. So let's move on to Vanja. You've been working with Saab, and tell us more about Glitchy and your solution.
Well, so we provide industrial companies with VR training for hard skills. So you can use it for actually improving operations, upskilling, reskilling, refreshing, or anything really to close the performance gap. And with Saab, we have the opportunity to deliver a proof of concept, enabling them to emulate a process that's concerning jointed bolts and how that could be trained by the operator step by step. And it was super exciting, I have to say.
Wonderful. Sounds like it was really good timing for them as well with the pandemic taking place.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's move on to Jörgen and Glana. Tell us more about what you do.
Well, we make a camera, a hyperspectral camera that can see the difference between different materials, for example, soil types or plants, different plant species, or if a plant is healthy or if it's feeling bad due to insects or whatever. And this makes it a bit difficult for us sometimes to reach our markets because it's a very general thing. I mean, it's a camera, it can be used for so many things. And then this is an opportunity for us to explore those different application possibilities with, in our case, Väderstad. And we are still experimenting, and we will continue experimenting together.
Wonderful to hear that, and we will talk more about that as well. But moving on to Magnus and Voices, you've been working with remote driving. Tell us more about Voices.
Voices develops a system for teleoperation or remote operation. And in this case, we found people at Toyota Material Handling that could see a potential in using our system for remote operation of a forklift truck. Toyota Material Handling, they develop autonomous forklift trucks, and they sometimes need assistance from a human.
Wonderful. Thank you, Magnus. And Erik, Dyno Robotics, you've been working with Saab. Tell us a bit about the project.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
At Dyno Robotics, we are a robotics and machine learning company, and we help our customers implement autonomy into our products. We've been working together with Saab in a proof of concept application that does tactical mission planning of flight missions with especially machine learning, which is a new and exciting area.
Great. So we got a very quick overview of the different pre-study projects that have been going on during this spring. So let's hear a little bit more. I'm looking at you, Axel, and I know that both Siemens and Väderstad were very happy about your project and are very interested to scale the solution within their operations. And you are a fairly new company. You just started up a few years ago. How do you see the future, and what will be the biggest challenges to meet the customer needs?
Yes, we're fairly small, and as I say, that's a big challenge when we're having this huge organization and we're gonna do every drawing will be analyzed automatically. So we were very happy when we got to be part of the Swedish Scale-Up program, where we can, together with the staff there, the experts there, help us take us from a startup to a scale-up. So we're workshopping on this, and we see a lot of good solutions basically to use the network everywhere to leverage our knowledge into these large organizations.
Wonderful. And just to explain, the Swedish Scale-Up program, it's a program that goes in the mid-central Sweden from Uppsala via Västerås, Örebro, Norrköping, Linköping, and support growing companies with different activities. And what will you do together with the business coaches from the Swedish Scale-Ups?
So we're having coaching sessions where we plan, we discuss, and I propose my plans, and they give us very valuable feedback, and we can take this and talk to other people in the network and we say, we are talking about this, what do you believe? And they can say, yes, we like it or we don't like it. And we have very senior entrepreneurs helping us. And that's crucial for us at this moment.
Wonderful. And what are your hopes it will result in?
I'm hoping we will have a very sustainable company with power to leverage our products to all organizations, basically. So we're looking at this smart way to leveraging our power without scaling too much, but still scaling up a bit.
Wonderful. That sounds really terrific. And I know you are building your operations on a long-term basis. So best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Axel. So now I'm looking at you, Vanya. We have been talking a couple of times during, you have been into the proof of concept project together with Saab. And you told me that very important that you gain together with Saab. Could you please explain that to us?
Yes, legitimacy. And also, I think Saab, in terms of being a large company, they're helping raising awareness about VR because it's still a pretty new concept, especially when it comes to the kind of VR that we're doing with like actual interaction with hands, because it isn't in the market yet. So that has been like a huge help. And I think like when we're facing the market right now, as you all know, that change is super difficult. We don't want to change, and it takes a lot for us to actually, we prefer to kind of hold on to the new concepts, and it's going to take like an immense proposition for us to be willing to take another step. And I think has been one of the best things. It's like a dream sandbox being an index because we have like 4 companies, and obviously we've been working with Saab, and they're also so curious and open to innovation and really not afraid of it at all, and which is something that's is such a pleasure to work with. And having these conversations with Saab, it has developed us a lot, and also our product. They have been raising new questions, helping us to kind of develop VR in their kind of industry as well, because we know kind of ahead, like, oh, this is gonna be prevalent in the future. And so we can kind of start preparing for that. So super interesting ideas has come up with like the day-to-day or weekly conversations with them when we've been delivering the proof of concept. So I think we need companies that are forward-leaning and sending signals to other companies so they can actually dare to take the step into using VR as a training tool. So legitimacy and acceptance is very important, and it definitely is something that will help us as we move forward. So I'm super grateful.
Thank you. Thank you, Vanya. I think that our Saab colleagues and the other partner companies also are happy to hear what you say.
That's good.
I was just curious, Vanya, you mentioned the results that you got together exploring this solution with Saab. How will you use them in your future business development with other customers?
Okay, so what's really good for us is that, I mean, when you start up, and we've done a couple of VR applications already, but you're never ready. I mean, there's always new things to learn and new experiences. So from the industry that Saab comes from, the learnings we take away will actually be something that we can prepare in our next deliveries for other companies. So they give us so many ideas. And one of the ideas that was great that came from Ivar, that is one of the teachers in the Saab Academy that we've been working closely with. He started to talk about like, what would be good and how they could benefit more from VR. And so he gave me the idea of course, we should do VR bite-sized training. I mean, you don't always want to have like a big solution or like a standard training. Sometimes, like we do in real life, we just want to some particular thing or bite-sized thing that we want to learn so we can move ahead, because we don't have time to train all the time. And then we realized, yeah, of course, we should have like these standard trainings, but we should also offer VR for those particular problems that causes like downtime or like are hazardous in day-to-day operations, and only train the actual problems. And then we can kind of start creating a library of just the special problems. And that will kind of take down the time of training, and we will just focus on what's acute right now. So that came from Saab and all that inspiration. So now we have a new concept that we're offering, which is super successful. So thanks for that, Saab. It was good.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for, I was just thinking out loud now, but we had a company working with haptics a few years ago here in the region, and maybe you could explore VR and haptics together. With the EVA concept. That would be interesting. Thank you so much, Vanja. And let's move over to Lana and Jörgen. You mentioned hydrospectral cameras. This is quite a new technology, and I think many of us have more questions than we understand what you are talking about, but it's super interesting. And I see a lot of potential. And you've been working with Väderstad, as you mentioned, looking into the soil and the plants. And do you see this as your best market entry to work with the agriculture sector? Or what do you see after this talk?
Yes, I see agriculture as the largest future market for us. There are a lot of different markets, some related to agriculture. For example, a food inspection, when you have your meat or fruit or whatever in a conveyor belt, and you want to inspect that, see if what is good, what is bad, and measure the how much fat or proteins or something like that. So that is also a market. But if you see to the entire agriculture sector, I mean, there are a lot of farmers around the world.
Yeah, so you will work with both the farmers and the grocery stores. How do you see your future?
The problem for us is that we cannot work directly with the farmers. We need to do that. There needs to be at least one or probably more steps between us and the farmers, because a farmer won't go, buy an advanced camera, and that need to be integrated on some kind of machine, and then there need to be an infrastructure. The information need to be taken care of in the farmer's IT system, because they have such nowadays that controls their machines. So we really need to collaborate with companies like Väderstad, and it's pretty difficult as a startup. I think Lynn Sedal mentioned something like that. It's difficult for a startup just to go cold calling to major companies and say, hello, we have something here that might help you in this part of the process. And we don't really know which of these would have a good cost-benefit ratio, but somewhere there.
So you agree with the dream sandbox that also Vanja was talking about. Did you learn anything specific from working together closely with Väderstad? Something that you could mention?
As Mikael Adlers, our CTO, mentioned, we in each of these cases, we need to get out of our technological box and see what's actually the problem, because we could have some ideas, and then we go to their lab, we do experiments and see that, maybe it was this thing that was the actual thing that we need to do, and where our technology can be of use. And each time you go into a different application, you have this process again, and it's a learning process of what is needed here and in this context. Then we go to someone in defense industry, and it's a new story again.
Yeah, and I would assume that the more people at Väderstad that learn about hydrospectral cameras and images and how they can use them, see more different usage areas that you could explore together. So do you hope for a continuous collaboration with Väderstad?
Oh yeah, I mean, it still feels like we just started. It's like, oh, okay, now we have done this, now we need to do this and this and this. So yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Jörgen.
Thank you, Jörgen. So we have Magnus from Voices here, and you have been part of different corporate innovation events earlier. We have been talking about that. You have different experiences, and we would like you to explain what makes IndX different in your point of view.
Well, I would say that I have a lot of experience of selling towards large corporations, and it's a huge challenge. I mean, it's a big challenge just to get one contact with a large corporation, and it's an even bigger challenge to get a contact that is actually relevant for what we are doing. We are probably searching for a handful of people, you know, within an organization of hundreds of thousands of employees. So it's very, very hard to find the right people. And it's even more challenging to actually get a project going with a large corporation like that. So for me, we have been in many activities where we got to the first step, getting one contact with a large corporation. But with IndX, we actually took all three steps in once. And I think that's a great value for us.
Even more value than that you have a funded POC, you also earned a lot of time spent, I suppose. That's what you mean?
Yes, I mean, but the value is not really in the funding, but the value is that it was actually, you know, it was assured that there would actually be a project. Yeah. It's not the funding itself that has the great value to us, but actually having this large corporation already before the IndX event happening, assuring all the resources and the funds to actually execute the project, so that knowing that the project will execute is the big value here.
It's for real.
Yes, it's for real.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Magnus.
Just one last question, because I'm curious. Is there anything that you would like to see within the larger corporates in order to how they can expand the innovation process internally? Or is there anything they could do differently to make it easier for you to collaborate?
I think probably that's a very common problem within large corporations, that they in order to execute the project, they need to sort of compete with real development projects and go-to-market projects, which is sometimes difficult for a small innovation project. So working with many different corporations, I see that those corporations that are the most successful, they have usually technical resources in the innovations team, so that they can sort of execute the projects without competing with the real R&D projects that affect go-to-market for other products.
Very good, interesting point there. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Dyno Robotics, you've been working together with Saab. You work with robotics and automation. Please tell us, how will your solution change Saab in the future? Erik.
Yeah, so we worked in the area of mission planning, and this is of course a very important area for Saab Aeronautics. But what's really special about this project is that we wanted to use machine learning to solve a quite traditional problem. And I think it's so very important to try to bring the research and knowledge from academia into the real world and solve real world problems and apply it in the industry. And we actually found during the proof of concept that we could, for example, from a technical viewpoint, reduce computational time when making the plans, and also adapt to a much larger variety of complex environment and parameters when calculating the plans with machine learning. So I think this will be very important for a few years.
Wow. So you think this was a successful pre-study that you did together?
Yes, very, very successful. And I hope we can continue on this track.
And in terms of cost savings, could you explore amounts?
For Saab?
Yes.
And that's very
many millions, right?
Yeah, it could be in the millions. I mean, if you improve the products, you can sell more products, and the products are more efficient. Of course, you're going to have cost benefits.
And what questions did you get from the employees at Saab? What were they curious about learning more?
Yeah, so the project had a very interesting structure actually, where we had 4 workshops, 1 each month, and the Saab invited personnel from the entire company, and we shared a lot of ideas with each other, and the ideas ranged from like all the way from very technical questions. There were programmers from Saab there who asked about the algorithms, but also more high-level questions. So it was a lot of back and forth, and also we learned a lot from the employees at Saab.
Wonderful. So how many people were involved in the process altogether?
From the Robotics side, it was 3 people, and from Saab, I think we had like 1 or 2 project owners. But then on the monthly meetings, it was like ranging from maybe 10 to 15 people, all joining the discussions and sharing knowledge in this area.
Wow. Wonderful. So thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to add before we end?
Yeah, I'm excited for next year of IndX.
Wonderful.
Great.
So let's talk more about the future, Inger.
Yeah, I would like to ask you all a question where you have to be quick in your answer and recognize that the partners are listening. But the best scenario, what will happen when you have finalized your proof of concept project? Some of you have been mentioning it already, but we start with Axel. What would you like to happen in the best scenario?
Well, I convinced myself that automatic quality control of drawings is really important. So, of course, I would like to make this in action and make it live. That's my hope. I'm believing in it.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. And Magnus, what's your best scenario?
So our system is a complement to autonomous, in this case, forklift trucks. So I believe that the combination of Toyota Material Handling's autonomous forklift truck and our system could help their customers to get started with the autonomous systems within material handling much easier, much faster, and thus I hope it could be a real boost for Toyota Material Handling in actually selling their systems for autonomous forklift trucks.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Jörgen, what's your best scenario?
It's a pretty easy question. I mean, our technology getting integrated in their technology so that future farming becomes even more productive and environment friendly.
Easy. Well, great. And Erik?
Yeah, so it would be like really exciting if we could bring this forward to an actual product and have the customers of Saab use some piece of software in machine learning that we developed. That would be the dream scenario.
Great, great. We used to say women first, but this time I think that you will have the last say in this conversation. So Vanya, what's your best scenario?
Wow, that's it's kind of big, but I'm hoping that we can deliver more VR training to Saab, of course, an incredible company to work with. And we had the opportunity to have a demo event last week with them, and Siemens and Toyota was looking at the results. So I'm hoping that they can see that we can deliver for Toyota like standard trainings for forklifts, for example, doing that without using resources, supporting sustainability. And for Siemens, perhaps risky service work for turbines, not having people train in a more easy way and more cost efficient. And for Väderstad that I didn't get to join, I hope that we could provide them with VR training to sell with their products, so people can actually start training on machines, avoiding machine damage and downtime even before they get the machine, so they're ready to go when you actually provide them. So that would be a dream that we have. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Good dreams, and we will come back to that. But for now, I thank you all so much for talking to us. Really interesting, and hope for many of those best scenarios coming up. Thank you.
Thank you. Inspiring. Wonderful. Thank you.
So let's now talk to the partner companies for a while. And I'll ask Thomas, Hans, Johan, and Torbjörn to join Lena and me again. Yes.
So wonderful to see all of you, and I hope you found the startup panel really inspiring. I really did. And we are very happy to get you all together to share some insights from last year and also thoughts about the upcoming year. So great to see you all again, and let's start with you telling us a little bit about, because when we initiated IndX, we talked a lot about technology roadmaps and benchmarked one another's technology roadmaps, as well as corporate innovation strategies. But you somehow decided over 3 areas. It's connectivity, it's automation, and sustainability. So could you tell us a little bit about the areas that you see your future needs within? So let's start with Hans at Toyota.
Yeah, our future needs, we are coming from a situation where we are a traditional manufacturing company, and it's a lot of steel, hydraulics, and simple electrical solutions. And now we are facing the whole era of digitalization, and it really hits us everywhere, I would say, in our customer solutions, in our productions, in our service operations. And we explained it good with the 3 themes, I think, where our focus area and our needs are. In automation for us, that means vehicles maneuvering automatically, and that means camera solutions, sensors, navigation solution, and technology like that. In connectivity for us, we are connecting our trucks. We are talking to our trucks, to sending data, but we see a next step where we will connect other things. It could be machines, could be sites, warehouses. And the third is probably one of the biggest transformations we see is sustainability, and that goes everywhere. The logistics process needs to change and become sustainable.
Wonderful to hear that. And I heard some of the startup mentioning also that they were very happy to see sustainability among the areas. So let's move over to Thomas, Siemens Energy in Finspång. You like the sound of sustainability, I know.
Yeah, I mean, out of the 3 areas, all 3 are important for us, for sure. But sustainability, yes, that's really the challenge for us to take our products to be sustainable in the future. We need to take them from using fossil fuels like natural gas and diesels to work with, for example, hydrogen or ammonia or methanol. We need to look into green fuels, liquid fuels instead of diesel, and make our products fully sustainable. That is the energy transformation we look into. But also that comes with the 2 other topics, with autonomy and connectivity. For sure, we look into enhance our products with new services. supplying our customers with digital solutions, connected turbines, connected units in the world to get use of all the data we gather to make new services for them. And autonomy, I think, is a bit more focused internally now to get more efficiency in our processes, to connect and be more quick to the market into our development process from idea to coming to a sellable product. So I think all three areas are important for us, for sure, but our main focus would be in the sustainable area, making our products fossil-free and sustainable for the future in the energy landscape.
Thank you so much. And
You're welcome.
There's a lot of impact-oriented achievements, and you do it with the help of deep tech, I suppose. And I also heard you mentioning a lot of software as a service that could be part of the upcoming business model, data-driven.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. So let's move over to Väderstad. Johan, what does the future look like for Väderstad?
Yeah, I think Thomas put it in a quite good way. But for us, all three focus areas hook up together in a very good way. We see us as a part of making the world a more sustainable place, and the part of that is to be able to produce the food that we need with less efforts. To do that, we need to have more efficient machines. We need to have better ways of working the soil. And if we can be a part of that with developing new technology within our focus areas, then I think we have achieved our goal.
Wonderful. Sounds like everyone is looking towards a more sustainable future, also energy efficient and technology driven, of course. So what about Saab, aviation? What does the future look like?
Well, as you have already seen, Saab has a very wide and broad product portfolio. So it's not only aviation, it's also everything from submarines to aircraft. And this includes a wide range of different technologies. And what will happen in the future is that these systems will be much more connected to share information about what's happening in the surroundings and to analyze this information and take decisions from it. So the systems will be much more connected, and the systems will also have an increased level of autonomy. So some of the systems will operate completely autonomous, and some of them will be manned. And this will need to be combined so that manned and autonomous systems can work together in teams and achieve operational goals, basically. So this is the challenge that we have in front of us. And on top of that, we need to do this without compromising the performance while trying to develop these products using resources responsibly, not using hazardous compounds and not causing emissions that should not be emitted. So that is the challenge, I think.
Wonderful. And I hear you collaborate very good with the place brand of Linköping, which is Future Now, using new technology already today. So it harmonizes with the deep tech region that we all operate in, and it also harmonizes with the ambitions that we have about green transformation and the Swedish vision to become the world's first fossil-free welfare state. So, Inger.
Yes, that's challenges. Thank you so much. But Johan, I would like to hear you explain or describe some experiences and results from IndX 2020 so far.
Our experience is that it was quite much easier to start up this cooperation with the startups. We got off to a flying start right away, and we started to seeing quite good results right away as well. Seeing interesting new findings, learning things about ourselves at the same time. So it has truly been a very positive experience for us to do this. A quite easy and energizing way of working together.
Great. And as you said, when we were around the corner, the future looks bright. That's nice to hear.
Absolutely.
And Torbjörn, what are your experiences of the results from Index 2020 so far?
Well, I think that the index process itself has been very efficient and high quality startups and a really good hit rate for Saab. And actually the process has been driving us also internally. It's not only the external process, but it has put some requirements on us also to review the startups and to internally generate ideas on how to use their technologies, and that is really good. I don't think we would have done that if we didn't have this external process chasing us. So this is really good. We have 2 projects going on, and the results are really interesting and good.
Great.
That's really good to hear. And I will move over to Hans and ask you a little bit about this kind of collaboration with startups and corporate innovation. Why is this important to companies like Toyota Material Handling Europe?
I think the world that we are facing are completely exploding with new technologies and no complex things that we need to keep control of. At the same time, we cannot lose sight of the things that actually earns us the money today, which is producing forklift trucks. And I don't think we can really have the ability to cover all those areas. And here is it's really a perfect match versus startups, because startups has no legacy. They can go into these new areas and they can focus a niche problem which will fit in our sort of bigger building here. So I would say the future really needs startups in our ecosystem. That's an essential part, really.
Wonderful. And I know that all of you have this insight, and Thomas, you've been part of the index process, and before that you did the Siemens Pop-Up Collaboration Expo. You have some experience with working with startups. What would you say have been your most important insights and learnings from these different processes?
I think the most important learning is that we, with the collaboration with startups, we open up eyes and views on technologies maybe we don't look into. If we work with our products, gas turbines and heat pumps, and in our niche, we don't maybe look that broad that we can do with this type of process. We can see startups in new technologies or new product services, which we could maybe make use of, which was not the intention from beginning. Maybe it was a startup with technology used for cars, but we could use it for our turbines. So I think that is a good experience and something both for us and for the startup to maybe broaden their business, and we would broaden our knowledge in that same way.
And building on that, could you or anyone in the panel elaborate a bit? We have a question in the chat that is about how you foster an innovative culture among your employees and how you go about. And it's Niklas Ekholm from Young Innovators of Sweden that asked this question, since he sees a lack of entrepreneurial culture in the school system. So could you tell us, any one of you, about how you foster the innovative culture in your organizations?
I could start if it's okay. We try to see that anyone could be the innovator in the company or entrepreneur. So we would like to have systems and representatives from all the functions. That's why we created this innovation board with all the functions in the company: procurement, service, R&D, manufacturing, all the different functions we have could be represented or are represented, and we could see everyone bringing in ideas. We have systems to post your ideas, which everyone can do. And then we bring them up to this board to, let's say, challenge them and to help them, support them to build ideas further. Different programs, like an entrepreneurial program. We have also started to help them to be their own entrepreneurs of the idea, to find funding, to create more of the business case of the idea and so on. So we try to make everyone an innovator, entrepreneur. Everyone can have a good idea that we bring up to improve our products or to really find a new solution or product we can sell. So it's
Thank
about
you.
engaging everyone.
Anyone that would like to add something to that description? Aside that it's really important, and some of the startups also mentioned that it's really, Magnus Persson were talking about having technology expertise also in the innovation team, so you don't have to compete with ongoing R&D projects. Is that something that you have experienced within your organizations?
I would say it's definitely a conflict all the time, because those big projects, again, is our bread and butter, and they need to be done. It's a high focus around that. If we don't do that, we are out. Innovation could be more forward-looking things with a high failure rate and so on. So I think it's a constant battle we have, and it can be solved in different ways, but it's getting more and more important to have that sort of mechanism in place, how you can work with innovation and long-term, heavy, important R&D projects.
Very good aspect. So we have some future challenges to take on to improve innovation strategies within our corporations.
I think it's important also not to create this sub-teams that only work with innovation. It's important that the entire organization get the opportunity to perform innovation projects, and that we have the infrastructure to support them. Yeah. So having a separate organization only doing innovation, I think misses.
Maybe you need both. Yeah.
Maybe.
Future questions to explore. Thank you so much, everyone. So Inger.
Yeah, the last question to the startup in the conversation before was what they hope will happen after the proof of concept projects are finished. And I hope you were listening and ask if there is anyone of you who will answer on any of the startups' expectations.
Tell us how much you will invest.
Excellent TNS engineering. We are looking forward to scale up the proof of concept idea we have now. So we will work together and continue with the next step, which we have commonly agreed and approached. So we will continue to scale up the functions TNS engineering represents and to make us more efficient into the drawing checks we do.
Yeah, and the same goes for us for the TNS project, that we found that this is a good technology for us that we want to develop further. And then we come into what just was recently mentioned, the amount of resources that we have a possibility to invest into this might limit the speed that we implement this, but we are interested in moving forward for sure.
Then I can almost copy your answer, Johan, saying the same, because we are really, with Voices, we are sitting on something which is really a game changer for our business, and we love it. We were hit by Corona and some effects of that, so we need to cope with that.
So Torbjörn, only you left. What will you do?
Yeah.
What will you do?
We're just about to sum up all the projects. They have finished just recently, so we haven't really decided yet on which one or both of them how to proceed, but it will come shortly.
Okay,
amazing.
Great to hear. And I would then recommend the audience to sign up for our newsletter if you haven't already done that, because then we will be able to follow what will happen in the future with those corporations. And hopefully you are all now very full of information, expectations, and inspiration. So let's go.
And now it's time for what we all have been waiting for.
It's time to open up for new applications to IndX 2021. So, Yippee! We are excited to follow up and learn to know new technologies, entrepreneurs and startups. And do not hesitate to contact us with your questions or splendid ideas. On Linköping Science Park.se/index2021, you will find the application form. It's easy to apply, so don't wait. Thank you.
Yippee!
So the application period is open, and we welcome you to apply for IndEX2021. So let me take you through the digital process that enable us to a broad outreach. We have from the beginning worked in a permissive way that resulted in a quite complex process, but it has been working quick and easy. So the application period will be open until August 31. In the later part of September, the 10 selected startups will be announced. Of course, there will be solid information also for the applicants that were not chosen 2021. After that, we will support the startups to prepare pitches that will be shown in the pitch event on October 4th. And this is also the point where the ideation starts. Our partner companies will open up to involve many employees. Critical operational knowledge are engaged to evaluate startup ideas and innovation, but also to help improve and develop them further. So during approximately 2 weeks' time, ideas will develop in a digital ideation platform. And in the end, 10 ideas, one per startup, will be conceptualized during the digital event on October 27th. The same day, a handful of them will win a funding and further collaboration from and with our partners, one or more of them. And remember, the aim for IndEX 2020 was 4 proof of concepts, and the partner agreed on 5. So now we have a couple of minutes if there are questions in the chat, or if any in the audience would like to comment or have questions to the partner companies.
Otherwise, I would like to take the opportunity to thank everyone for joining in to today's session. And we hope that you have learned a lot from the founding partner companies, Siemens Energy, Saab, Toyota Material Handling Europe, and Väderstad, in their ongoing process to work closer to startups, but also from the startups working together with corporates in innovating those businesses and bringing their enthusiasm into these projects and making, as we heard today, game changers for the future. And all this is happening within the IndEX process within the region of East Sweden. And we look very much forward to welcoming you here, both digitally as this process, but also physically, of course, as we heard that some of you are waiting for. And I would like to take the opportunity also to tell you that the week 45 in this fall, we have the Innovation Week of East Sweden. So that will be an amazing opportunity to join in either digitally or physically and take part of some of the activities around innovation in our region. And with those words, I would like to thank everyone participating today. Thank you to all of the panelists, and thank you, Inger, for keeping together this program in a very good way. So hope to see you all soon again, and thank you so much for today. Bye.